Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Well, we saw a lot of volatility today. Early in the morning, we got this really big push up here. S&P futures pushed up to the 69.05. NASDAQ futures were touching the 25,850, 860 level. And as I said last night, and I said today in the live stream, 60-minute time frames were not confirming the highs. S&P's ultimately pushed down all the way down to the 63 level at one point before selling around the 68.79 level. Again, these MACDs really ran into a roadblock, not just on the underlying ETFs, on the spiders on the 60 and the Qs on the 60, but also on the continuous contracts on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame, and I'll show you that. Russell acted the worst today, down about 0.4%. Today we got a really big push up on the Russell to new highs right after the opening, and the Russell, the MACDs on the 30 and on the 15-minute time frames, non-confirmation. We also saw the likes of AMD pushing up today on the 30 and 60-minute time frame. AMD was trading above the 223 level. AMD down about 5.5 off the highs. NVIDIA early in the morning was pushing up. The MACDs negative on the 30 and 60-minute time frame. NVIDIA down about 2 after that. Tesla early on pushed up on the opening, made new highs. The 30-minute MACDs didn't confirm. Also, Apple still in a negative trend. All three time frames are in bearish mode, 15, 30, and 60. We got the push up, and guess what? Completely got kabooshed, down about $2 off the high. But the big story here also was Coinbase and MSTR and Bitcoin being down about 3,000 points. There was rumors about, again, the Trump organization not backing a crypto fund. That hurt gold. That hurt Bitcoin. Coinbase reversed the sell on the 30-minute time frame, so the MSTR, and we had two great shorts off the 15-minute time frames on both. Last but not least, gold. Gold was all over the place. Gold was actually up, trading as high as 42.91. It got absolutely kabooshed all the way down to 42.26 at one point before rallying about 20 off the lows. And what we saw here on gold, okay, was we got the big buy reversals, then the news with Bitcoin, we saw the pencil down in Bitcoin, then we saw a monstrous drop in gold, and then once gold flipped negative on the 15 and 30-minute time frame, there was a really great short around the 1 o'clock on gold, hitting around the 42.48, and gold got absolutely kabooshed about $15, $18 after that. So let me just go and show you here, first of all, what I saw here. And remember, I told you this last night. If you're looking at the 60-minute time frame, well, let's look at the 60-minute and the 30-minute time frame on the S&Ps first. You can see the push up here early on. We traded 69.05, right? And these MACDs could not confirm the highs here, okay? Could not confirm the highs here, all right? And even here, the MACDs couldn't confirm the highs on the 30-minute time frame. So you ran into a roadblock right there. That's number one, okay? Number two, look at the spiders here on the 60-minute time frame. Again, you're pushing up here to new highs. You can see how you're making new highs, and if you draw your horizontal line here, or I can draw it, you can see how the MACDs could not confirm these highs. All right, and on top of that, you fill the gap here. All right, but this is a monster sell divergence right here. Look at AMD here, pushing up here. Here's the 30-minute. Here's the short. Again, when I walk in here, I look immediately at the bigger time frames. You can see here negative MACDs here, a push up, great short. You can see here the negative MACDs on the 30, right? I mean, on the MACDs couldn't confirm the highs, sorry. And you can see this sell divergence here. Same thing with NVIDIA here. You can see NVIDIA. NVIDIA was off the 15-minute time frame, called a really great short here in NVIDIA. Right after the opening, you can see NVIDIA making new highs here, and the MACDs could not confirm. Not only did the MACDs not confirm, but the MACDs are negative. These are monster sell divergences here. All right. Looking at Tesla here, you can see Tesla was off the 30-minute time frame. At one point, one person in our trading room, he made about 1,200 on this one. You can see here the new high on Tesla, but the MACDs couldn't confirm. I got all my students are learning how to trade with divergences. Great pattern there. Tesla. If you look at Apple today, still negative across the board on the 15, the 30, and the 60-minute time frames. This short here was a really great short in Apple. First of all, this is the first push up here. I'll show you Apple. Here's the push up this morning on the 30-minute, but look at the 60-minute time frame on Apple. Very weak here. You can see the push up here around 10:30 above 281. The MACDs are negative. You're still in a negative trend on the 60, and if you look at the 30-minute time frame, again, another beautiful bear flag. Here's a beautiful bear flag right out of the gate here. The first one was 10:30, and then we called this great, and look at this caboose, 281 all the way down to 278, dropped about 3, rallied right back up into the 10-bar moving average. Two great shorts there on Apple. Let's look at Coinbase here. These are set strategies. So Coinbase reverses the sell on the 30-minute time frame. The MACDs are negative above the pivot here. And what do you look to do? The 60s are still bullish, so the 30 correlates with the 15. What do you look to do? Here's the first bounce on the 15 at 10:45. Here's the second bounce above the 273. Got absolutely caboose. So the first one normally is the most powerful, 73 down to 66 to 7. Second one down about 3.5. So the first one's always more important because the push up here into the negative MACD. Here the MACDs are positive. So again, this is the most powerful strategy. When you get the 30 reversing to go into a sell disconnect, you get the short bounce into the negative MACD right there. Got caboose. Second one, the MACD turned positive, but still nice overbought into that pattern, and you can see the drop. MSTR, another one. Let me see if MSTR, obviously going with Bitcoin, reversing to sell on the 30-minute. The MACD is negative above the pivot. Identical same pattern here, but this one here, you can see MSTR 185.30 drops and gets absolutely caboose down to 176, almost 9. Another nice bear flag here. 130 MSTR, you're in a sell disconnect. The 60s are still bullish on both Coinbase and MSTR. So a sell disconnect. Two of the 3 time frames are in sell mode, and here you are. Look at this, 130, 180, and it got caboosed about 2.5 points. So really great pattern here. I want to show you the GLDs reversed to buy early in the morning, and then whatever happened, the blank hit the fan. But here's the biggest problem with gold today. If you look at the 60-minute, if you look here, when gold was making its new high, I said that the 30-minute MACDs couldn't confirm this high. So when gold was trading 42.91, I was shorting it, right, off that. Also, look at the 60-minute time frame. You tell me when gold's making, I can't draw right, but when gold's making a new high right here, 42.91, these MACDs, you're making a new high here, okay, and the MACDs couldn't confirm. So the first thing we did right out of the gate was when I saw gold like that, I said, they're going to get cabooshed, okay? But then the news came out about, or a rumor came out about the fact that President Trump is going to cancel some crypto fund or whatever. We don't even know if it's true or not. But gold got cabooshed, Bitcoin got cabooshed, and then guess what happened? Well, the GLDs reversed to sell here, okay, on the 30-minute time frame. You can see here the GLDs reversed to sell right here. And now you correlating with the 15. This was the first bounce on the 15-minute time frame, right around the 130, 115 time period. Here's the 130. You can see 38.04, and gold, you can see here, dropped about $23, $24, and then continued to drift lower the whole afternoon. Again, this is a monster sell reversal. But now, there were some longs that we took, and there was a couple stop outs on the long, But then once everything reversed, we just looked for shorts on the bounce. It was pretty crazy. Gold at one point was doing monster volume from between 42.50 down to 42.26, 27, 28, rallied all the way up to 42.48, 42.49, and then that was it, and the case closed after that. So again, when I saw those negative MACDs, and you're making highs. And again, when I come in through that door every day, I look at the bigger time frames, the 30, the 15, the 30, and the 60. So when I saw NVIDIA making new highs, I immediately saw the MACDs weren't going to confirm. When Apple was making new highs, I already saw that the 60-minute and the 60-minute MACDs were negative, blue over yellow. When I saw Tesla pushing up to new highs, as some of my people in my community, they were shorting against that 30-minute time frame. But and again, when gold reversed to sell, but before gold reversed to sell, when gold was making that new high at 42.90, 42.91, I said let them have them. Now I did not expect a 42.91 down to 42.27. I did not expect that. The news did that. All right. Now one of the things I will tell you is when you see the price making a new high like that, and those MACDs could not confirm the highs on the 30 and 60, it was a monster sell divergence. Monster sell divergence. On the bright note, let's look here quickly. I'm gonna show you Broadcom. Broadcom reversed to buy here on the 30-minute time frame. You can see the push up here on Broadcom. On the 60-minute time frame. I apologize. Here's Broadcom reversing to buy on the gap up. And again, when you're pushing up like this here, 293, and you can see the drop of $8, you can see that the MACDs again could not confirm the highs here. Okay, so this is another clear. Now we didn't short it. I mean, I was doing so many damn things, but you can see the new high in Broadcom on the day, but these MACDs didn't confirm. However, the strategy that I'm going to show you here is that when Broadcom, reversed to buy on the 60-minute time frame, you went into a buy disconnect. And then when the 15-minute time frame reversed to sell, well, there's an 85% chance that I know that the highs are in for the day, but you could buy this oversold condition against the 30 and the 60. That's exactly what I said. Broadcom, I said look to buy under the 385 and a half, and you can see the push up here of about $5 on Broadcom. So a really great strategy there. Last but not least, when the spiders reversed to sell on the 15-minute time frame, again the spiders are still bullish as the Qs and the Russell. And the diamonds on the 30 and 60-minute, when you got the deep oversold condition, we took the longs. You can see here 685.02, rallied about 15 handles on the S&P, pushed down again, and then rallied again. Look at that rally of about 20 points on the S&P. So again, it's the way I wrote the software to give me the ability to identify these trades and patterns. And that's exactly what I want to be able to teach all of you. So that's why my community is growing, and that's why so many people are doing well. I'm so happy that it's Friday, and a lot of people had a really good day today. Some people got caught on the gold, but then ended up making it back at the end of the day on the S&Ps and other instruments. All right, when I get back, I'll tell you what I expect for Monday. Now for Monday, we've been in this real long trend here now on the spiders. If you look back here, let's just go look back on the SPY. Looking back here on the 60-minute time frame, we've been in this trend here, since November 21st. Now Monday, if you look back here, since November 21st. So if you think, if you look here, November 21st, that was a Friday. So we're 2 weeks on an uptrend on the underlying ETFs. So what I'm looking for here is if we do get another push up on the 60-minute time frame, just like I said for the last 3 or 4 days, let them have them. Let them have them. I don't think that the market is going to really, if the market even makes new all-time highs, so be it. However, I think the most important thing is that we're in this range bound, and I think that's what's going to continue for the next 16 business days going into the new year. Then I think they may rally them, and then eventually I think by March the market is going to just blank and just go right back down here until November. All right. All right. So again, for Monday, if we do get this push up on the 60-minute time frame to an overbought condition, like we had early this morning, like around the 10:30, 11 o'clock time period, then I would be looking for exit longs, and then maybe look for some pullbacks to get long. As long as we stay above the 620.02 on the Qs, we closed at 625, and 681 on the spiders, which means the S&Ps have to hold 68.39. Any close below that, you're going to get a big sell reversal on the SPY, most likely the QQQs as well, and then we'll be in a negative trend. And that seems like we've been long in the tooth here since November 21st. All right. When I get back, I want to share a little insight with you. So a gentleman says to me today in the chat, Steve, you've changed my life. You really helped me. I used to do a single lot entry. A single lot entry means if you're going to just trade, you just buy one price, boom. It's never going to work, not from where I come from. And I don't think anybody's that good enough to pick a one price and then hold it and then watch it go up and or down, unless you have really, really very, very wide stops. But again, for me, I think the most important thing here is that when you're trading the market, I want to be able to explain that trading single lot entries is not the idea to trade. I can't tell you what to do, but that's why I always say the rule of thumb is decide if it's a pattern or a scalp, how many contracts you want to trade. If it's just say 10 or 1,000 shares or 500 shares, whatever, take the range and decide how you want to scale into that range. And then whether it's, if you're trading futures, is every point, every 2 points, every 2.5 points. If it's stock, every 25 cents. And then the most important aspect of the scaling in and the scaling out process is how do you want to take those 10 lots and trade. If you're trading futures, how do you want to put them in your range? Is it 1144 contracts? Is it 22? That's 4-6. So people have to decide, get familiar with it, depending on the strength of the pattern, depending on if you're scalping or if it's a pattern trade. It's really important that to trade single lot entries, and this gentleman said by him scaling in and not doing single lot entries really significantly improved his trading. With that being said, thank you for joining me tonight on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Please hit the subscribe button. Please leave a comment. Also, if you'd like to join my community of traders from all around the world, please go to my website is sktrading.live. So please come and join me. You get my live stream every day from 8:30 to 4. I do a half-hour pre-market analysis, then from 9 to 9:30, I explain my whole methodology, my chart overlay, explain the indicators, and then also, obviously, I have my podcast, and then at night, Monday through Thursday, My Funded Future sponsors the night session, and I'm hosting it with Denny Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 8 to 10. It's growing. We had a lot of people on last night. So it's growing, and we cover index futures, gold, and I explain the patterns of the day, and I explain what I'm looking for at the moment during the Asian markets in those three assets: gold, S&P, and NASDAQ futures. Great crew, great time we have. We laugh, and more importantly, I teach. I learn the pattern. I teach the patterns, and I'm explaining exactly the trades that are going to happen before they even happen, entering and exiting, and showing people how to scale in and scale out. But more importantly, to be able to make money and trade appropriately and be consistent. Right. Also, if you'd like to follow me on social media, @official Stephen Kalayjian on X, Instagram, and TikTok. With that being said, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I put in so many hours this week. And I just want all of you to enjoy every second. Most of all, God bless you. And again, God bless the United States of America. Have a great weekend, everybody.